Okay, good morning. As you remember, we discussed entropy in the last class, and we have seen that entropy is the disability to convert energy into mechanical work. And also, we saw that the entropy of a system remains constant during a reversible process. And the entropy is one thing which is a constant during a adiabatic process. We also found a formula to find the change in entropy, which is dq by dt. Dq is the amount of heat energy absorbed by a system or rejected by a system, and T is the absolute temperature. And today we will be discussing the change in entropy in an irreversible process. I hope you remember what is a reversible process and what is an irreversible process. What is an irreversible process? What is an irreversible process?
The process where a thing that cannot be changed into its previous.
Okay. The process in which we cannot change, we cannot retrace the process, that the system goes to a new system and the new system cannot be brought back to the previous way. That is called irreversible process. And we discussed that irreversible processes are natural processes or spontaneous process. So we can discuss what will be the entropy change in an irreversible process or a natural process. Most of the naturally occurring processes are irreversible. So let me consider one natural process. Suppose you have a body which is hot, which is at a temperature T1, which is a hot body. And you have another body which is cold, which is at a temperature T2. Okay. So when I connect these two, what will happen? When I connect a hot body and a cold body, what will happen? Heat will flow. Naturally, heat will flow always from a hot body to a cold body. That is the natural process. Heat will flow. Let the amount of heat flow be delta Q. So, amount of heat flow will be there from T1 to T2. T1 is hot and T2 is cold. So, this will continue until both of them reach the same temperature. This is the natural process, and when they reach the same temperature, we tell that they are in thermal equilibrium. Now let us see what is the change in entropy for this system. Let us take T1, this body. What happens to the change in entropy? Change in entropy is the amount of heat given. So here the amount of heat is given. It's going away from the system. So let me express this as minus delta Q divided by the temperature is T1. Now this body is gaining heat energy. So I can express the change in entropy is equal to delta Q because it is in its energy is increasing, it's gaining energy. So it is positive delta Q divided by T2. Now the total change in entropy in this process where heat energy goes from hot to cold, that is the total change in entropy in this natural or irreversible process. Why it is naturally irreversible? Because you cannot take heat energy from a cold body to a hot body. That is second law of thermodynamics. You cannot continuously take heat energy from a cold body and give it to a hot body. Or in other words, you cannot take heat energy from a cold body and give it to a hot body without the aid of an external source. So that is second law of thermodynamics. So the natural process is one way. Always heat flows from the hot body to cold body. So let us see what is the total change in entropy in this natural irreversible process. So the total change in entropy is equal to delta S1 plus delta S2. So it is equal to minus delta Q by T1 plus delta Q by T2. So this is the total change in entropy. Now look at this equation. Delta Q and delta Q are same. The amount of heat energy lost here will be the amount of heat energy gained here. Now, what is different is the temperature. We are trying to find whether the change in entropy will be negative. In that case, if the change in entropy is negative, it means the entropy decreases. And if the change in entropy is positive, it will mean the entropy increases. So let us see what happens. So only quantity that is different in these two terms are the temperature. And T1 is the temperature of hot body, T2 is the temperature of cold body. So we know that T1 will be more than T2. Now, if a larger quantity comes in the denominator, that fraction will be smaller, right? So we know that delta Q by T1. Here, this is in the denominator, delta Q by T2. So delta Q by T1 will be larger or smaller than delta Q by T2. T1 and T2 are in the denominator. So
Larger.
T1 is larger than T2. So what about this? I have 1 by 2 and 1 by 4, suppose. 4 is larger than 2, right? 4 is larger than 2. But 1 by 4 and 1 by 2, when we take, which is larger?
1 by 2.
1 by 2, right? So the sign changes. Did you understand? So when it goes to the denominator, when the denominator has a larger quantity, that fraction will be smaller. So which symbol should I put here? Larger or small?
Smaller.
Smaller. So this will be smaller. Delta Q by T1 will be smaller than delta Q by T2. So the negative quantity will be less than the positive quantity. So what about delta Q? Will it be positive or negative? The negative quantity is less, right? This is less and this is more. So delta S will be positive or negative?
Positive.
It will be positive. Delta S is positive. Delta S is positive means S. What happens to the entropy? The entropy will increase. So, in a natural or irreversible process, the entropy will always increase. So, we saw in the last class, in a reversible process, the entropy will remain a constant. And in an irreversible process, the entropy will always increase. So when we take any change, any process that go on in the universe, any change that goes on in the universe, it will be either reversible or irreversible process. In all reversible process, the change in entropy is zero or the entropy remains a constant. But in irreversible process, the entropy increases. So we can state, in other words, in all processes inside the universe, the entropy will either remain a constant or it will increase. It will never decrease. So that is the outcome when we discuss entropy. So the second law of thermodynamics, which states that we can never take heat from a cold body and give it to a hot body without the aid of an external device, can also be stated in other words that the entropy can only remain a constant or it can increase. It can never decrease. The decrease of entropy is not possible at all. So that is another way in which we can interpret the second law of thermodynamics. So you have to remember, in an irreversible process, the entropy always increase. Now this has serious consequences towards what happens to the end of the universe. You know that the astronomers from very beginning, they are looking into, they are trying to find how the universe was formed and what will happen to the universe, how the universe will end. Now, this idea of entropy gives us something towards that theory of what will happen to the universe at the end. We know that we, Earth, on surface of Earth, we are getting heat continuously from sun, right? Sun is very hot and it's continuously releasing heat energy because the planets are colder than sun. That is why there is heat flow from the hot body to cold body. Now, when we consider all the stars in the universe, all stars are very hot compared to their environment, the vacuum space surrounding them. That's cold. So there is continuous heat flow from the hot body to the cold body, which means the entropy of the universe is continuously increasing. Now, what is entropy? We learned the first definition of entropy. Entropy is the inability to convert energy to work, heat energy or any form of energy to work. So entropy is the inability to convert energy to work. Now, if in the universe, the entropy is continuously increasing, what will happen as the days go by, as time goes, as years goes, what happens? The energy available in the universe will not be able to be converted to useful work. It will come to such a state where it's no longer possible to convert energy to work, which means all activity will cease. So that is where the whole universe is moving. Don't worry, sun, which is providing us energy, will continue to do so for 10 billions of years. Sun is a young star, so it will continue to live for another 10 billion years. So we will get sun's energy. It will be, we can convert that to useful work. You know, we convert here sun's energy to useful work in different ways. Let me take the direct example. When we convert the sun's energy, solar energy, using solar panels to electricity and then to work. Also, wind energy. How wind is caused when air moves from a colder space which is denser to a hotter or warmer space which is less dense. So it's all due to the change in temperature. But naturally, heat flows from hot body to cold body, and the natural process is going towards thermal equilibrium. We also learned when we discussed this, whenever there is a hot body and a cold body, we can use a heat engine in between and convert some amount of energy to work, right? Only if the hot body and cold body are separated. Now, if we mix them, what happens? They will attain the same temperature and it's no longer possible to convert to energy. So when we mix them, what happens? The inability to convert to energy increases, or the entropy of the system increases. So for the whole universe, what's continuously happening is the energy is moving from hot bodies to cold bodies, and eventually the whole universe may enter into thermal equilibrium. And it will be not possible to convert the energy into work. That concept is called the heat death of universe. So this is how the universe may end. This is how the universe may die. How? There is always flow of heat energy from hot body to cold body. So eventually, I'm talking about a large span of time. Maybe the earth, the universe will continue in this way at least for 10 raised to 100 billion years. This is by the calculations of black holes. The scientists have come up with the idea that the entropy will not increase to the maximum until around 10 raised to 100 billion years. So we don't have to worry about that. We don't know whether the human species will live that long. So maybe it will be after the human species exist in this universe. This may happen, the heat death of the universe. So in a large span of time, also in a large span of space, that is, I'm considering the whole universe, there may exist in a far future, about billions and billions and billions of years after, the whole universe will come into thermal equilibrium. There is no difference in temperature between two bodies. In such a case, it will be not possible to convert the energy to work, and all activity of the universe will cease. If there is no energy flow, there is no activity in the universe, and it will be the death of the universe, which is called the heat death of the universe. Is this concept clear to you? What is meant by the heat death of universe? Is this concept clear to you?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Now, let me also discuss something more about entropy. Entropy can also be viewed in a different way. Now, if you just Google search what is entropy, you may not directly find this definition. We don't usually or qualitatively discuss entropy as the inability to convert energy to work. Majority of the time, you will find a totally different definition for entropy, which is a simpler way to see things. Entropy is also called the measure of disorder. So what is entropy? You can either say that entropy is a disability to convert energy into mechanical work, or you can also say that entropy is a measure of disorder. Is a measure of disorder. So in the whole universe, the entropy is increasing, means the universe is going towards more and more of disorder. For example, suppose I have eyes and I have this ice when it melts to become water. In ice, the molecules are more closely spaced. It's in the form of solid. And when it becomes water, the molecules are more disordered. Okay. Suppose S1 is the entropy of ice. S2 is the entropy of water. And after some times, may the water change to water vapor, which can just go away. So water vapor. Let it be S3. So as the disorder increases, entropy increases. So S3, the entropy of water vapor is more than the entropy of water, which is more than the entropy of ice. So as the disorder increases, the entropy increases. So entropy is also called the measure of disorder. You can also see things in the way that if you have some bricks arranged like this, and if you have the same bricks lying randomly, suppose this is A, this is B, which has more entropy? More disorder means more entropy. A or B, which has more entropy?
B.
B has more entropy. So the entropy of state B is more than the entropy of state A. Or I can tell in other ways that suppose your mom is the one who arranged everything in your home. And if the mom is not there at home for 2 days, what happens to the entropy of your house? What happens to the entropy of your house?
Disorder.
Disorder increases, which means entropy
Increase.
will increase.
Infinite.
Yes, entropy will remain constant. What is that Jaman told? You arrange things at home?
No, it will be at infinite level.
Yeah, it will be it will go to infinity, right? There will be disorder everywhere. And don't worry about the case that the entropy is changing, increasing, or in every process. It will be either increasing or remains a constant. So in an irreversible process, suppose the total entropy is the entropy of the system, which means this is positive, as I told. So the total change in entropy is the entropy change in the system plus the entropy change in the environment. This should be always greater than zero. This is what we discussed, right? The entropy always increases. So the change in entropy will be always greater than zero, even if the whole universe as a whole is progressing towards increasing entropy. By human efforts, it's always possible to keep the entropy of a system less. The change in entropy, this can be negative and this can be positive but larger. So the environment entropy can increase and remain larger. Still the entropy of a system can remain negative. I will tell you one way. Suppose we have iron ore in the surface of earth, right? In the earth crust we have iron ore. That's in a disordered way. Now we take the iron ore, there are a large tedious process involved with lot of machines when we convert it to steel and make building. There what we are doing is we are making it in a more ordered way. So we are reducing the entropy there. So our efforts are to reduce entropy or to prevent more and more disorder so that the universe will last longer. But that efforts, we human beings are there in a very small part of the universe, and we occupy a negligibly small space in the universe. So when we consider the naturally occurring process in the rest of the universe, it's almost negligible. Still, there can be a system or one part of the universe where the entropy have not reached maximum and which can be still active. That is a positive psychological thought which will allow human beings to last longer. Okay, so the concept of heat death of a universe, that naturally everywhere the entropy is increasing enormously and there will be eventually a death of the universe, is so distracting. It's so sad to hear that. So also science provides a solution to that also. By our efforts, there can be always a part of the universe, a system which can remain uh, with less entropy, which is more ordered compared to its surrounding. Still, the total change in environment, total change in the entropy will be positive, or the entropy will it increases in the rest of the environment. There is a possibility. So our efforts are to make more and more order in the universe so that the universe can last longer. Now, as I told you, this will not happen. The end of the universe, the heat death of the universe, it will not happen in a short span of life. Maybe it will happen after billions of years after the human species get extinct. So it's nothing that comes in the near future. Don't think of that now. So is that clear to you? What is entropy and what is the concept of heat death? Or how you see entropy as a measure of disorder. Is it clear to you?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so let me just summarize what we have discussed so far, only the main points regarding entropy. First thing, entropy can be defined in two ways. One is that it is the measure of disorder or randomness. Measure of disorder. And then it's also the disability or inability to convert energy to work. And another thing which we discussed is that for a reversible change, irreversible change, so such changes, what happens for a reversible, entropy will be constant, which means the change in entropy will be zero, and for irreversible change, entropy increases. And with these two, we can say the second law of thermodynamics. Second law of thermodynamics states that the entropy either remains a constant or increases. Entropy will never decrease. And the possible end of the universe can be the whole universe entering into thermal equilibrium, where there is no difference in temperature between different parts of the universe. In such a case, there is no flow of heat, and it is not possible to convert energy to work. The whole universe will have maximum entropy, and that is called the heat death of the universe. That is the essence of what we have discussed so far. I hope it is clear to you. So the time is getting over. I will end the meeting here.